Have you ever spent days, weeks, or even months trying to convince someone that they got you wrong? Trying to explain yourself? Trying to defend yourself? Trying to correct a story that somebody else was telling about you? I have. And it exhausted me ad nauseum. So grab a snack and come on back and let's talk about today's book, Let Them. Welcome to Sunday Book Club with Lexi. This is a conversation inspired by a book, not a discussion about a book. I'm not asking you to read this book. I'm not reviewing it chapter by chapter. We're not doing that here. I'm sharing one idea that stopped me in my tracks and what it taught me about my own life. And today's idea comes from the Let Them Theory. Mel Robbins' beautiful book, The Let Them Theory, one of my all-time favorite books, one of my all-time faves. I love this book. This book is like the Bible. I love it. I love it. So, it's two simple words, let them. And those two words changed everything for me. They truly did. Over the last year, I've experienced something I never expected to experience at this stage of my life, adult bullying. In my sexagenarian era, not in middle school, not in high school, not in my 20s, as a grown woman in her 60s, go figure. And if you create content online long enough, unfortunately, sometimes that comes with the territory, right? It does. There were false stories and there were fake emails. There were messages claiming, to be things that they weren't. There were people repeating things that they never bothered to verify. There were subscribers who left because they believed somebody else's version of a story instead of asking me directly. And you know what? That's their choice. There were people who chose sides. And like my primo once said, something that has stuck with me for a long time, right? I only pick sides with my meals. That's it. I only pick sides with my meals. And honestly, I think there's wisdom to that. Because grown adults, we're capable of listening and thinking and making our own decisions, right? Capable of that. So, at first, I wanted to explain myself, right? That's comes with the territory. When somebody does us wrong or when somebody misunderstands us, the first thing we want to do is explain ourselves. That's what we always want to do. I wanted to correct that narrative that was changed. I wanted to correct that. And I wanted people to know my side. I wanted every misunderstanding cleared up. I wanted every rumor corrected. I wanted everybody to see the truth. Not my truth, the truth. But eventually I realized something. The people who truly know me, they don't need an explanation. They truly don't. They don't need one. The turning point for me was when the lesson from this book hit me. It's when it hit me. I realized that I was spending more energy managing other people's opinions and perceptions of me than I was protecting my own peace. And you all know I always have my notes. And I'm going to say that again. I realized that I was spending more energy managing other people's opinions and perceptions of me than I was protecting my own peace. Why was I doing all of that, right? And that's when I stopped. Let them think it. Let them. Let them say it. Let them believe it. Let them repeat it. Let them choose what they want to believe. Let them choose it, because none of that changes who I am. None of it does. None of it changes who I am. So one of the greatest lessons that I learned after 60 is this. You don't have to correct every rumor. You don't. You really don't. You don't have to defend yourself against every accusation. You don't. You don't have to win every court case being held in somebody else's mind. You don't. Fun fact, as I'm recording this, I received an email, right before I started recording this, from somebody who I've blocked, who continues and continues and continues to blame me for everything that's gone wrong with them or everybody who does something to them. I have nothing to do with that. Absolutely nothing, right? I don't even know who they're talking about. And so this is the thing. This is what I'm speaking of, right? Sometimes the healthiest thing we can do is just to simply say, let them. Let them. You want to send 5,000 emails? Go right ahead and do it. Go right ahead and do it. Not because, you're weak, right? There's nothing weak about that. Not because you're giving up. Absolutely not. I never give up. But because your peace is worth protecting. And I'm going to say that again. My peace, your peace is worth protecting. It's worth protecting. And the reflection for me was, I'm going to ask you something right now. What would change in your life if you stopped trying to control what other people think? What would change in your life? Because as the other book that we did in our first episode from Don Miguel Ruiz, The Four Agreements, which sometimes these books kind of go hand in hand, that I read. What somebody thinks of us and says about us is what? None of our business. It's none of our business. What would happen if you redirected that energy back into your own life? Back into your own life. For me, the answer was peace. Definitely peace. Bar none. Bar none. I don't have to prove myself to a living soul. I don't have to audition for acceptance. I don't. I don't have to convince anybody of my worth. Absolutely not. And neither do you. Neither do you, beloved. The freedom wasn't in getting everyone to understand me. It wasn't. It wasn't. The freedom came when I realized that, we didn't have to do that, right? The freedom wasn't in getting everyone to understand me. They don't have to. They don't have to understand me. I don't care if they do or not. Right? It's not our job to make people understand us. It's truly not. It's truly not. So, that was where the freedom came for me. That's where the freedom came from. And every Sunday here, we're going to open a book, like we did The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins. But we're really opening ourselves, right? We're really opening up ourselves. And this week's lesson, it's simple. It's simple. Sometimes peace begins the moment we stop trying to control what other people think. What other people think. So, I see you. I'm so proud of you. And I thank you for spending a little part of your day with me. I thank you so much. And remember, as always, I love you plenty.